Hey, what's up guys? The rank 107 player in the world just devised a new fast-paced strategy to outpace and outmaneuver the best players in the game. Instead of using buildings on defense, this deck relies on fast-paced counter pushes. When you're defending with Evolved Barbarians, Rascals, and Dark Prince, none of your units are going to decay on your side of the map like a building would. Instead, they'll counter push, applying pressure to the opponent, forcing out elixir, or giving you damage. There's always action on the map when you're playing this deck, so it's a lot more fun than the standard control decks that are always on defense. And I'm happy the deck shows the pure strength of the underplayed Rascals. You have a ton of log arrows and spell bait with the Rascals, Evolved Bomber, and Goblin Drill. And opponents can waste spells to try to finish off a Little Prince, Barbarians, or a Dark Prince shield, giving you the ability to incessantly spam bait and rack up a ridiculous amount of damage. And while almost every evolution in Clash Royale is getting nerfed, Evolved Barbarians are getting a rework. While they lose 12% of their health, their ability lasts 50% longer. So they'll stay raised up, attacking with a faster attack speed for a lot longer. It's time to slash our opponents with our Barbarians that are bound to get buffed and assert dominance. And big Barbarian love to everyone that's supporting the channel with creator code SirTag. It's time to smash SMA. I really wish he had an S there. It just was so more fitting, man. We got to change your name for you. So he's going to go in for a skeleton split at the start, and he's also going to have Archer Queen. So if we wanted to, we could hypothetically poison plus arrows and take a -2 trade to kill the queen. It's a lot of elixir spent. Oh, wait, what the heck? Yo. Small really did get smashed by the Dark Prince's Malice? What is it called? A mallet. Malice is a different type of thing, guys. But I guess we were pretty malice to our opponent, so that makes sense. All right, anyway. Enough dictionary words here, guys. We're going to be going in for the bomber in the middle, and we're going to solve the riddle of defending against this mini P.E.K.K.A. I think it's really good for us to decide to go for Little Prince because we were able to cycle a lot of stuff viciously here. If he goes Expo, we go in for Rascals, and even if he logs it, it's fine because then he doesn't have the small spells that he probably needs to go and counteract our Evo Bomber. So our strategy right now, oh wow, he has log and arrows. Never mind. This is not good. This is really not good. My guy is log for the drill, arrows for the aggressive decision of us going in for the Evo Bomber, and then also he's probably going to have some other stuff tucked away in a nook and cranny to kill and counter us that I haven't even figured out yet. Anyway, we're going to figure out something here. Go for a drill, and let's go for Dark Prince, and let's go for Evo Bomber. Might as well spam everything, because if he goes in for a mini P.E.K.K.A., we should be able to lock onto the mini P.E.K.K.A. and hit the tower. Dude, he isn't ready! Let's freaking go! That's what I'm talking about. Bomber is blasting us away with sweet, sweet damage, and Rascals might be able to keep us alive. Yes! Thick boy soaking it up for the squad, and he is really SpongeBob right now. He is bobbing up and down until he's dead, and you know what? We're going to give him a name. We're going to call him Fred. He deserves some respect. Put some respect on that Rascal's name, because without him, I think we would have wound up dead. Now, I'm pretty sure we were able to finish off the Expo and then just defend because we got a lot of thick tanks in our deck with the Dark Prince, the Rascals, and then of course the Little Prince's Guardian. And we successfully exterminated Expo easily. Small got smashed. Shout out to Fred the Rascal for tanking it for the team because without him, we surely wouldn't have won. And we're starting the day strong at 3,500 in the world. All right, we are matching into a top 621 player. So if we're playing against people at this skill level, we have to level up our skill, you already know, or we are slaughtered. I'm going to cycle my Rascals in the back first play, which is not necessarily a card that you want to be dropping because a lot of times your opponents won't necessarily know what your deck is, right? And you don't want to reveal the Rascals until they are like, wait, that's a card I can't counter. You want to cycle the Bombers and you want to cycle the Archers, or I guess the Little Prince, which is basically an overpowered Archer. If you can do that, then your opponent won't really get a clue on what you're going to do. So I know he's running Graveyard, right? We see cards that are very indicative of Graveyard. We see Little Prince, we see Baby Dragon. There isn't really anything he could be playing. But for us, he's still trying to figure things out. I'm going to go for Barbarians here because we want to get to the evolution, and we'll probably force out something that he doesn't want to cycle, like the Barbarrel. And then he still has to respond because guess what? We've got Dark Prince, we've got the Bomber, and then he needs to respond to that because the Dagger Duchess is not necessarily equipped with 0 daggers to deal with the Dark Prince barreling at her. All right. Barbarrel is out of cycle, so I think I can go for Rascals here and get a good play. If he poisons, it's a bad decision because guess what? He has to deal with the Rascal and the Goblin Drill at the same time. There's a lot floating at him. Also, if he pops the ability, then we can Bomber, and that doesn't extend far enough. So now we can guarantee a good splash, locking onto the Little Prince and hitting the tower, and then probably getting back to Barbarians eventually, right? It's not ideal. He's going to get damage guaranteed, but just gets the charge, right? He doesn't get more than that. Oh, he gets another hit. That kind of sucks. I was hoping that wouldn't happen. Anyway, we can go in for the Little Prince here. He'll probably go Barbarian on this. We want to drop our Little Prince off to the side because we predicted the Barbarian. Now we know with the daggers depleted, we should be able to pop through with another ability. Because now the Baby Dragon is going to be kind of locked in place. The Evo Knight will definitely die. And if he zaps to reset the Little Prince, he still loses the Baby Dragon, and he spends 2 elixir in the process of doing that. So, how are we going to win this one? What is our strategy? Probably going for the same strat of going for Rascals and then going for the drill, because the entirety of his push is not necessarily going to work so well if he loses the Little Prince, which he gets sniped by the Rascals. So if you make that play and they feel like the Little Prince with its abysmal range is going to be able to do anything, it just dies every time to the 5 elixir, and they're spending 6 elixir on defense. That's one of the reasons why this deck is cheeky right now in the meta and very strong. Okay, so we're going to go for Rascals on the other side, and then we're going to go in for a drill, just because we know we can apply more pressure. And I believe if we pop the ability here, the Baby Dragon won't lock onto our precious Little Prince. And then, I mean, look at that. His Little Prince might even die again. It's crazy to be able to get that type of trade. Every single time that works, it's kind of funny because now he's pressured to go in for his Ram Rider directly in. Oh, wow, he went for Evo Zap. I was going to say he wouldn't be able to get damage, but with an Evo Zap, it does make sense. We'll go for Rascals here. The Little Prince on top of the Baby Dragon. It doesn't make that much sense for us to do that. You want to go in for the Little Prince afterward, then we can pop the Bomber here, and then we can go in for the Drill. We're trying to go opposite lane of our opponent, so then he's cycling cards that he doesn't want to. Like, this Little Prince is going into the Abyss. It's not going to give him any value. He's cycling that directly into the Dagger Duchess, which would annihilate it, and he has all his damage accumulated in the right-hand side, so it's not like he's going to get anything meaningful. So again, we just run it back. We go in for our Rascals. We take a little bit of damage, preserve our health of our units, go in for the Bomber when we can, and then we're going to get ready to go in for another Drill. Our strategy is always this. This is how you play the matchup. You continuously do the same tactics, shamelessly. We're going to go Dark Prince, and then we're going to go in for a Barbarian, so then we know that the P.E.K.K.A. is not going to be able to kill the Barbarians, and we keep everything relatively healthy. Then we go for Rascals on the left-hand side, because he's trying to go at a 3,000 HP tower, which I don't think is going to go so well for him, spoiler alert. Alright, I do enjoy going in for Little Prince abilities here. I think that's going to be our best bet, just so his Little Prince does end up doing damage to that, but doesn't take it out. If he lightnings, I don't even think he kills, so pretty good for us. I might be better off going for the Evo Bomber at the river right now with the Drill, because he's going to have to go for the Knight, and he does, and then he goes in for the P.E.K.K.A. So, really well played from our opponent going for the P.E.K.K.A. there, but still loses the P.E.K.K.A. Then we have the 3-card cycle, so I think we're A-okay going Rascals off to the side, going for another Drill, because we know he doesn't have that much to apply pressure. Like, if he lightnings, how is that going to work well for him? He loses the Baby Dragon here to Little Prince for sure, and then I guess he might try to do something else, but the Barbarians at the river are not going to let that Ram Rider pass. So, I feel like this guy is failing and flailing while we're able to just constantly barrage all of our stuff at the river right now, waiting for the Drill, following through with arrows, and he just doesn't have much to deal with this. Like, if he goes in for a Ram Rider right at the river, go into my Barbarians, I dare you, my dude. Barbarians are too strong, and that feels wrong. Wait, our tower, I guess it was a little bit lower on the right-hand side, but yeah, I didn't expect the lightning to come through there. I was like, wait, I'm not going to be able to afford the lightning because he has to defend the entire time because I had Evo Bomber. A little bit closer than I anticipated, but Poison was coming down, and we ticked away with the W. As you can see, this guy was incredibly ticked off too. He was not happy after that loss. If you play against bridge spam like Ram Rider or Battle Ram, it's practically impossible for them to penetrate through your Evil Barbarians, your Rascals, and your Little Prince ability. Even if they're a top ladder player like this guy that finished 621 in the world at over 2,800 medals. Evil Barbarians are beyond broken if your opponent doesn't have a ton of splash damage. We gotta retire the Dagger Duchess after that ridiculously long match and put in the Princess Tower, showcasing that the deck can be played with any tower. All right, so this guy's got Lava Hound in the banner, and we do not love playing against that because we don't have any buildings and we don't have tornadoes, so it is going to be a difficult matchup if he plays this really well. If he's going to have a Lava Hound deck and he starts it at the start and then goes in for a balloon, it's difficult for us to defend unless we go in for like Rascals and Little Prince and then pop the Lava Hound with a lot of damage and then arrows on the Lava Pups and then kill the balloon afterward. But the one big benefit that we have is we're running Princess Tower over the Dagger Duchess. Dagger Duchess has her daggers depleted and can't break through a Lava Hound and then hurt the balloon. So we get more consistent damage with the Princess Tower. That's a huge benefit for us, actually. Also, he's going to go for a zap, so that means that, you know, he's not necessarily going to be able to fireball zap away our little prince, so that's very cool. And this is what I was talking about earlier. You want to be able to do something like this. Unfortunately, I do have to go for a drill to go and pull back the balloon, and then I think I can go arrows on everything here. Ideally, what happens is we're able to keep the little prince still targeting the balloon. That was perfectly played on our end. Like, that could not have been any better. So what happens is the little prince will still lock onto something and retain its fast attack speed if there's something nearby. But if it's just the Lava Hound and there's no balloon nearby, then what happens is the little prince retargets and then loses its fast attack speed, and then you lose the game. So using the goblin drill on defense and then combining that with the arrows is what secured the awesome defense for us. And that's how you're going to win this matchup. It's really, really tough, and we're still not guaranteed the W because he has a huge matchup advantage. But I'd love to win this game. It'd make me very happy. So y'all already know we're going to be going for a drill again, and then we're going to run it back with a bomber in the middle. And the reason why we're playing so aggressive is because I can't guarantee that I defend the left-hand side. In fact, I bet you I do lose this tower. If he goes in for a good Lava Hound push, it's very, very bad for me. Also, we know that he's going to have arrows. So it means that we're not really safe dropping our rascals. We're hoping that we're able to go in for Little Prince, poison, arrows, but it's just really unreliable here. So he doesn't have barbs in cycle, so there is that. But if we do this, if we go for Evolved Barbarians, Dark Prince, and then make a big push, and then we try to use our rascals, but the rascals are just going to die to arrows. I think we're just better off dropping our Little Prince again. I could poison to guarantee the tower, but I think the tower might be done anyway. Let's run it back with our drill, and then try to go and pop the ability on the miner. And maybe we're going to be able to kill the miner this time with the goblin. I really, really hope this works out. We're going to have to poison as well, just because it slows down the Lava Hound, and it slows down the balloon. So that's going to be our best defense possible, and I still think he gets another shot if he zaps. Man, he didn't do it. All right, thank goodness. All right, how are we going to win this, though? If we go for Rascals, we're going to be able to kill the Skeleton Dragon, and then I think that he's probably not going to be able to 3-crown us. There is that benefit for us. Go for a Dark Prince, and then I think that the Rascal retargets. That's good. We can go for a Bomber here. I should drop them all in conjunction so then we would have forced the arrows, because now he's able to arrows on that instead. We're going to force a poison on defense. I mean, this is our best possible play, and it's still not working super well for us. I know his arrows are out of cycle, so I can get Rascals down. He's Lava Hounding. Oh, no, no. That's an Inferno Dragon. That's a freaking Inferno Dragon. Oh, no, please just die. This is really, really, really scary. Oh, my gosh. As you can see, this is one of the worst matchups you could get, and I played it so well, but I still don't know if I'm able to win it. It is really the only matchup that scares me in this. I could poison, but I don't think that's going to be good enough. We have to go in for a Dark Prince, and then we probably need to use a drill on defense. Actually, screw it. Let's go for Rascals here. I think they probably lock onto the tower if we're not unlucky. All right, we're going to go in for a poison because we need to kill the Skeleton Dragons. And then we also probably need to go in for a Little Prince to finish off the rest of the Skeleton Dragons. And then, I mean, we're going to go arrows as well. I don't know if we're able to kill the balloon. It's going to be so freaking close. If he arrows as a Little Prince doesn't die. Oh my gosh, dude. He used his arrows. So we can go Bomber and we can predict his barbs. He has to drop barbs here. Is he able to stop the Bomber? I don't think so. I think we barely win the game. Wow, I played a lot better than that guy. That was a really, really close match and not an easy game. So if you guys are wondering what is the worst matchup for this deck, it is definitely a Lava Hound deck because obviously you don't have a way of removing the Barbarians, so the Barbarians are able to body block you every time, especially if they have Evolved Zap to reset your Little Prince and arrows to destroy your Rascals. You gotta love that this deck has massive outplay potential like you saw in the first defense with the Little Prince. Yo, this guy finished 207 in the world, so he's actually gonna be very good at the game. You already know best play for us is to go in for Barbarians in the back and spam the evolution. So if our opponent spams on the other side, we have Little Prince to knock things back. We also have the Dark Prince for charging capabilities. Generally, we do not see opponents running the Princess Tower like us. 90% of the people are just running Tiger Duchess. So it's refreshing to see a foe that is a little bit more respectable. Anyway, he's going to pop the ability, and he's also going to have a elixir collector. So maybe he's not running a respectable deck. Maybe he's just running Giant. There's a high likelihood that he's just going to be spamming me with Giants or Golems in a couple seconds. So, you know, it is probably going to be a skillless deck again. Pretty insane how many people are running Beatdown in this meta. The good thing about our deck is if it's not a Lava Hound deck, we have a really good matchup since we have Poison for the Night Witch, and then we also end up having Barbarians for bridge spams. So it's kind of what we're looking for, you know? This is definitely one of those strategies that I am not destroyed by. Anyway, we can go in for the Dark Prince for primary focus of finishing off the Bomber so he doesn't get lucky enough to splash onto our Barbarians. He's going to arrows as well. I think he's also going to force an arrows from us. I hope not, though. You know what? With Princess Tower, I don't have to respond to that. If it was Dagger Duchess, I would have had to spend elixir. The awesome thing about this is no arrows in cycle for our guy. So now, what is it going to do when we go Rascals and we go for Evo Bomber? I think he's bound to get blasted. So I'm faced with the potential of poisoning that, or I could go Rascals and Evo Bomber and try to make something happen here with a drill. So I think I'm going to go for that instead. Oh, he's also going to have Evo Bomber. Oh, this guy's evil. Wait. This is a lot of damage. This is quite good. This is very, very good. We not only forced out an evolution, but we got a lot of damage on the tower. So I'll take that. Also, no Bomber in cycle means that I can go for a drill and deliberately play a bit more aggressive. The Bomber was the biggest downside for us because it's able to destroy our Barbarians. So if our Barbarians are in a bad spot, that's kind of the way that we lose the game. At least in my opinion, I think that's the scariest thing in this game. So we're just going to use the Evo Bomber there on the left-hand side to get some extra damage, and then we're going to go for Barbarians. If he doesn't have Fireball, I think he instantly loses, right? Yo, he's actually going to try to break through this with just a zap. What the heck, bro? What are you thinking, my guy? So top 200 players gotten increasingly more desperate now. That is what we like to see. So genuinely, I want to go Rascals, but at the same time, I think it's better for us to augment the push in the right so we can force out extra elixir, and then maybe get him to go for Little Prince like that. That's awesome. We can also go in for a drill here. Little Prince locks onto his, which is huge. If we can kill that Little Prince, that would have been big. It didn't happen, but it's all good. We can just go in for this. We can play a little bit defensive right now. We can get posturing with our Rascals. And then I think I can get away with arrows as well on the other side if I want it. I don't necessarily want it just yet. I'm hoping that he drops more stuff nearby. If he does, then that's going to be a bit of a better value for us. I don't think I have to do anything else. I mean, I can poison on the right-hand side so we don't lose the Night Witch Bats. But I'm pretty sure that the Princess Tower finishes off the rest of his stuff. And holding the arrows came up in a big way. If I overcommitted with the arrows earlier, then he had the potential of using the Evo Bomber. But the Evo Bomber is the main thing that's scary, not the regular Bomber. The regular Bomber is not going to kill me. All right, so he'll probably make a prediction here. I think he will. Yeah, he's good enough to do that. So you got to respect good players. You can't just do dumb decisions into good players because then you're going to lose. You're going to be dumbfounded on defense. You're just going to be like, wait, I have no elixir. So yeah, don't fall into that trap card. It's one of the worst feelings in the game. When you've had a game one and then you just overcommit like an idiot and you lose, y'all let me know down below in the comment section, how often have you guys done that? Because it's happened quite often to me. All right, we're going to go for Evo Bomber here. I think this is going to be okay. We might be able to splash onto the tower. Maybe it's hiding with the Dark Prince. That would have been really funny. Oh, the Dark Prince almost locked tower. Dude, this is crazy. We're going to go for a poison guarantee and getting easy value. Get a Little Prince right in front. He's popping ability in like 2 seconds for sure. But if we go for Barbarians, even though he pops the ability, his Giant gets popped too. So as you can see, tremendous value for me. I can go for arrows here. I should be able to snipe. Well, nope, never mind. I don't snipe anything, but we do snipe the tower. What the heck? Dude, the Goblin found its way through the Night Witch and locked into the tower. That is one of the most unfair things about Goblin Drill. Even when a top 200 player matches your elixir spent on offense with their defense, they still take damage. The Drill Goblins are supremely sneaky. That guy was way better than I expected too. He finished at 207 in the world at over 3,100 medals. One of the best players I beat in the minute, and it's all thanks to the Evo Barbarians. So this guy's got the Evolved Valkyrie in the banner, which is an exceptionally scary card for our deck. Our Rascals and our Drill are not going to be happy if we're playing against that. Lava Hound in the back. Clash Royale, why do you have to run it back with that? That is the worst matchup for our deck, and we're playing it again. We beat it the first time, but you know, I don't know, Clash. I don't know what you're thinking. Why are you trying to do me so dirty right now? So I'm going to go Rascals early. Hopefully he doesn't arrows this. We'll have to wait and see. Great. I'm happy that you have Fly Machine instead of running like a balloon right now. If you ballooned and arrowed me, I would have been a very sad sir. We're able to go for Barbarians, and I think that's going to be a good play because, oh, wow, that's even better than I thought. He went for Miner into the Barbarians. That's huge. And then I'm pretty sure the girl Rascals win this interaction against the Fly Machine, too. Maybe I'm wrong. Wait, no, we didn't have a tank. We're kind of screwed there. We could go Little Prince, but that's also ambitious. I think we're just better off letting that die and then go for a Bomber to tank for the Fly Machine so we don't take that much damage on our tower. And we also cycle through the evolution, only taking 1 shot. So not bad, right? We'll take that. We'll take that. He's going to Lava Hound in the back. There's no doubt about it, but like... every flavor of Lava Hound and Clash Royale is just being thrown at us. And we really have to get the ultimate test because the first game was so sketchy. It was like, Clash Royale was like, I don't know if you can do it again, Jake. I don't think you can. So they had to run it back. All right. He's going to arrows. I mean, he's not going to be able to kill the Dark Prince with that. The Cannoneer is not as good into our deck as the Dagger Duchess. Dagger Duchess is mad annoying when you go for the drill and then it gets evaporated. It's not a fun time. So I guess we can go for Barbarians here. I like going Little Prince on top of the Lava Hound, as you guys remember. I think it's better for us to do this and then go for Rascals first, though. So we're going to go Barbarians directly into the Cannoneer. We'll probably force out a lot of elixir. The Rascals have the highest damage per second that we have available for us. So that's what we're going to run right now. He decides to spam into us. I think that's okay. We can go for Little Prince. We can eat most of the damage and go in for Bomber afterward. This is generally going to be pretty awesome if we're able to get a good arrows down. Or we go Dark Prince. No, it locked onto our Little Prince. That sucks. All right, I'm gonna arrows. We're fine here, but it could have been a lot better. If it had locked not on the Little Prince, we probably would have been able to secure a much better defense. All right, if I go barbs, might force out barbarians from our opponent. I think it's better for us to go rascals and go opposite lane pressure. If we can get barbs from him, we can splash onto that with the bomber. Also, forcing out the arrows means he doesn't have any arrows for our bomber, so the bomber is bound to splash, right? Look at the barbs getting deleted out here. That's huge value. So he's gonna Inferno Dragon, kind of as expected. Go in for Little Prince. Let's go Barbarians, the tank for the Inferno Dragon. If he goes in for a Fly Machine, guaranteed good poison value, so we have to snag that, and then we'll arrows on everything else. I could pop the ability, but I don't think that's the best play. I think it's better for us to conserve Elixir and arrows on the Fly Machine, and also the rest of his stuff here. Because as long as the Inferno Dragon dies, we're in a decent spot. Also, if we go Rascals again, I bet you he arrows us. So, I think our strategy right now is to force out the arrows with the Rascals, and then go in for the Evil Bomber afterward. I think that's how we're going to win this game. Maybe it will, or it won't work, but we'll have to find out. He's Lava Hounding, so that's an ambitious 7 Elixir investment. He is forced to arrows. That's huge value for me. If we go for Barbarians right now, I bet you he doesn't have the gall to do anything else. Like, he has to go in. He has to drop barbs down the middle, right? Oh, he doesn't do it. He's going to drop barbs eventually. Yep, he's going to go for his barbs, but he's also dropping miner too, so he spent a lot of elixir. Our barbs are flying through. The Evil Bomber is in the middle of the pack. How did the Fly Machine hit the bomber? How did the Fly Machine hit the bomber? I have no idea how that happened, but we still secure the bag. We went all in for the win when we saw the 7 elixir invested in the back from the right-hand side, and it was the right decision, melting the Lava Hound player's left-hand tower, robbing him of the win. You gotta love decks that can still beat the most difficult matchups. Slash like button if you enjoyed today's video, subscribe for more daily content, and have an amazing rest of your day.